Alright. So here we go. Got a new toy at the studio. Sony A7III. And because I'm a Canon shooter, I got the Metabones EF/EFS to Canon E-mount adapter. That's the 5th generation right there. So that's what I'm going to be looking at today. Alright, so welcome to the next vlog. I'm going to be talking about why I picked up a Sony A7III and the Metabones adapter. But first off, I'll let you guys know that I'm a Canon shooter. This is a 5D Mark III. I've been shooting Canon for 14 years. I started way back when the Canon 20D was the big deal. That was my starting point, and then I've been building up ever since. I didn't upgrade to the 5D Mark IV because I didn't feel it was enough of an upgrade over the Mark III. So I was hoping Canon would come out with something, and they haven't. And they're really lagging behind in the mirrorless department, and that seems to be the trend right now, and I enjoy shooting mirrorless. So when I read that I could put all my Canon glass, and I've got quite a bit of Canon glass on the Sony A7III, I was excited because at first I was thinking of upgrading to the Fuji to shoot weddings. Fuji's a lot lighter, a lot smaller, and that's the one thing I didn't like about the 5D with the lenses on it. It's nice for a shoot when you're shooting, you know, for an hour or two, but when you're shooting a full day wedding, it gets really heavy. So I was really excited about shooting with something a little bit lighter, but I didn't want to buy the Fuji because I would need a whole bunch of new lenses. But with this guy and this guy, I can use all my existing Canon glass, apparently. So I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna let you know what I think about the A7 III from a Canon user's perspective. Okay, so this is the Sony A7 III. I gotta get used to saying that. And this is the Canon 5D Mark III. And you can see there's a quite a size difference and a pretty good weight difference. Although I do, hold on, let me put this in my right hand. I do feel like this is definitely a lot lighter, but it does feel very dainty. It feels very small. It feels like, yeah, I'm not enjoying the weight of this now. I'm definitely not enjoying the weight, but I do love the grip. This actually fits my hand. I feel like it's not gonna go anywhere if I start shaking it. And this one, oh, it makes noises too. But yeah, what's all that shaking in there? That's probably the sensor. But it just doesn't, it feels like, I don't know, it doesn't feel as solid in the hands as this beefier grip here. And in terms of like actually, I know you're probably not supposed to shake it, but when I do shake it, the build quality on this does feel a lot more solid than this. This feels very much like a toy. I mean, if we look, let's see if I can get this off of here. This is an old Canon AE1. Oh, look at that. It's about the same size as the old film cameras. Almost identical in size. Wow. That's pretty cool. Let me put this down somewhere so I don't drop it. Okay, so yeah. That's first impression. This feels very small, but comparing it to the old film cameras, it's almost identical to that. So that's pretty cool. And then this is obviously like a beast compared to the old film cameras. Let's see, so there you go. There's the front view. There's the side view. I was looking at the strap. The strap is a lot, well, is it a lot smaller? Yeah, it's a little bit smaller. The Sony strap from the Canon strap. Anyway, the straps don't matter. You can put whatever strap you want on here. Here's the back of the camera. That's what that looks like. And it's got the screen here that flips out. And like coming from the 5D Mark III, it's fantastic to have a screen that flips out. And that's probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to go with mirrorless, is that you know, I could shoot from different angles. Although I am kind of disappointed that it isn't a flip screen. Like, why can't it flip around so you can see yourself if you're vlogging, or maybe you just want it to flip out sideways so someone can see themselves as you're making a video or taking a picture of them? Or what if you want to shoot in portrait mode how you can't really angle the screen up to see it. So I mean, it does pop out, which is nice, but I mean, why not do it the right way instead of doing it this kind of half-ass way? But you know, either way, it's still better than the Canon camera, the 5D Mark III. I took the diopter off, if you're wondering why it looks like that, because I have deep set eyes. So when I put the camera up to my eyes, I definitely want to be able to get my eyes close to this as possible. And I find that it's not the diopter, it's the I guess the viewing hood, or whatever you want to call it, that little piece here. Alright, so that's that. And this is the Metabones adapter. Right there. It's nice because it's got a tripod collar at the bottom, so yeah, so you can mount this on a stand here. Because I assume with the Canon lenses on the front, it's going to shift the center of balance. And that's what you got inside. It's I don't know if you can tell. Will this focus on it? There you go. It's a nice velvety black material inside, which is great. A lot of the Canon lens hoods have that black velvety material in there, so it prevents light from bouncing around. You get less ghosting, so that's fantastic. I'm glad to see that. Let's pop it on here. Okay, that's on there. It's pretty solid. And then we have the 85 1.2. We're gonna pop that on here. Oh wow, the weight. This lens weighs more than maybe probably 2 cameras. Wow, and it's almost the same size. If I'm pointing this at you, let's flip this on. Wow, can't even see the camera behind there. But how does that look? Canon glass on a Sony camera. That's interesting. Never thought I would see that, but that's pretty cool. Now let's see. Does it focus? Manual mode. Oh yeah, no problem. That stuff's all a little bit too close, but that's fantastic. The 85 is one of my favorite prime lenses, so I'm glad that that works on here. Oh, that shutter sounds so nice. Can you hear it? Let's focus on something. Oh yeah, I don't even have to look through the viewfinder. I can look at the screen, which is the whole point of mirrorless. Yeah. Very nice. Okay, so let's shut this off. Try this 24-70 on here. Wow, it seems kind of weird to buy a light camera and then put this this heavy L glass on here. I hope the Sony lenses are a little bit lighter. It really, you feel it right here in your wrist. It really wants to pull you down. Okay, let's turn you back on. It's fully wide, zoomed in. Oh, yeah, no problem. Alright, so first impressions right out of the box with the Metabones generation, is it 5? I have to remember all this stuff. Yeah, fifth generation Metabones adapter. So I turn it on. Oh, what do I do now? Why is it not focusing? Oh, there it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna play around with this a little more and then come back and give you a few more of my my impressions. Alright, so this is the view you'll be looking at the camera from most of the time. And here we go. This is the top here. You have your custom functions here, the on-off switch here, which I kind of like and don't like. I like the Canon with the switch down here, but I understand why it's here. It'd be cool if this was another setting. But the custom functions are great. You got 1, 2 buttons here. You got this AEL button here, which you can also program, and then this AF on off, which you can program. And on this side you have another custom button as well, which is good. So that's nice. You kind of have to reach over and hit the menu button, and then you can do all your work here. And the menu isn't quite as complicated as everyone said it would be. It's not too bad. And here I have it set to S and Q. Now there's a dial up here, and there's an S and Q setting. And someone told me there's no time lapse on here, but if you go into the S and Q settings and you set recording, because you can go up to 120 frames a second, or you can go down to 1 frame per second. So if you go down to 1 frame per second in video mode, isn't that technically a time lapse? So you can do time lapse with this thing, even though some people are saying you can't. I'll experiment with that and see what it looks like. Alright guys, just came back from the rooftop getting my early spring tan on, and I was experimenting with the 1 frame per second mode, and if I'm not mistaken, this looks like time lapse to me. So just because there is no time lapse feature doesn't mean you can't create a time lapse effect with the settings of the camera. So there you go. You can do time lapse with the A7 III. Say hello to my little friend. Having some fun with the 300mm f2.8L. So far I've been playing around with the camera and my impressions are very positive. It seems to work with all the Canon glass that I have, and the eye autofocus seems to work. I don't have anyone here to focus on, but I put someone's face up on the TV screen and I was fooling around with the eye autofocus, and it's tracking pretty good. I'll try and make another video just on that to show you guys how the eye autofocus works. It's very strange. I wish you have to actually set a custom button on the camera. It has a bunch of custom buttons. You can set it specifically for eye autofocus, but it's not like a feature you can flip on and flip off. You have to change the focusing mode to continuous focus, and then you have to turn on the eye tracking. I'm learning it also. It's a little bit all over the place right now. I'm gonna make another video once I learn this a little better, and then I can communicate to you guys a little better how to set up your camera and how everything works. But so far my impressions right out of the gate are pretty positive. I like it. I was reading through the manual because the Kelvin temperature of the screen inside the electronic viewfinder and the back of the screen here have different Kelvin temperatures, and that's a little awkward because when you look through here you see one thing and then you shoot this way and you see another thing, and that was a little off-putting. But apparently you can adjust the Kelvin temperature in the EVF, which I'm going to have to do. I'm going to experiment with this a little bit more, and I'm going to probably make a follow-up video talking about the eye autofocus and the focus system and how it works with Canon lenses. Because my biggest concern as a Canon shooter when switching to Sony was, will my glass work? Will I be able to use it in a professional way? Is it going to be reliable? Can I make money with it? Can I take this to a wedding and take my shots and rely on the camera to produce sharp images? And so far it looks like the answer is yes. I'm pretty confident that it's yes, but I'm going to fool around with this a little bit more. I'm going to make another video and I will talk about this setup in a little more detail. Alright, so thanks for watching. That's just a little quick vlog, and I will see you guys in the next one.